Tonight we want to look at time. Now this is probably going to be one of the more complex parts of the Greek verb we're going to go over tonight. So I'm going to explain it the best that I can. Okay? All right, so Greek verbs have not only mood, and they not only have voice, but they have time. Okay? Let me explain this, okay? Besides having mood and voice, Greek verbs also communicate time and something called aspect. We'll get to that in a second. This can be rather complex to consider. So for the sake of simplicity, we're going to consider this in two sections, okay? The first section will focus on time. The second section will focus on what is called aspect. And then we're going to combine them together, okay? So let's keep it really simple. The first part now. In our English language, we have three categories of time. What would be the three categories of time? Past, present, and future, right? We know this. In fact, let me demonstrate this. Okay, I can demonstrate this with just a simple clap. I'm going to clap. So this clap that's coming is what? In the future. And then when you hear the hands snap together, it is the present for what? Maybe a second. And then once that second passes, it is then what? Past. Okay, so here we go. Ready? So future, 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 present, past. Right? We just experienced that in momentum right there. So Greek has, with us in our English language, a way to communicate future, present, and past. Okay? Very, very simple. I want to ask you to take past, present, and future. We're going to take that, right? We're going to set it aside. We'll put it in your back pocket. We're going to set it right here, okay? So we're just going to put it off to the side. We're going to hold on to it. We're going to come back to it, but we're just going to set it off to the side. We're going to make it really interesting now. Okay, we're going to turn our page, and I want us to look at something called aspect. How the action is viewed. Okay? All right, in the Greek language, there is also something called aspect. Aspect is how the speaker portrays the action either in the present, past, or future. So you can convey that action, how that action is viewed in the past. You can convey how that action is viewed in the current present and how it's going to be viewed in the future. There are three different aspects in the Greek language. The best way to describe the different aspect is through a drawing. Okay, I'm going to keep this very simple with the drawing. There's something called the imperfective action. The action of the verb is thought of as an ongoing process. The imperfective aspect can be thought of as a linear line, a continuous line. It focuses on the process of the duration of the action. John was hitting Paul's ball to Susan. And when we communicate that, it's an ongoing process. If I could say to you, I'll give you an example. Matt is running. Okay? You don't really know when I began running, and you don't know, I haven't stopped it. It's just an ongoingness. My heart is beating. Right? It doesn't infer when it started or when it's stopping. It's just this continuous movement. Okay? It's just happening. Okay? So if I'm going to describe something on the phone, let's just say I saw an accident and I call 911 and I would say to them, I was robbed. That would convey what? It was an action that happened in the past. Or if I said to them, I am being robbed, what am I saying? It's occurring right now, and it's continuing to go. It's happening right now, this continuous action. Okay? So this idea of action, you can communicate verbs in an ongoingness. Let's just say it that way. There's another way of communicating the action of the verb, and it's called the perfective. And what this says is that there's something that what? Was brought to a completion, and there was some sort of action or something was brought to completion, and as a result of that something, of what happened, there's ongoing results. The best way of explaining this is the words of Jesus on the cross, tetelestai, it is finished. So, what is finished? That word, it is finished, scholars have spilled a lot of ink on that. What has been finished? Fulfillment of the law is finished, is one for sure, absolutely. Death is finished, absolutely. The devil is finished, absolutely. The shame of sin is finished, absolutely. His atonement for our sins is finished, absolutely. The prophecies of the Old Testament are finished, absolutely. I mean, these all could be captured in that word, it is finished. But then when it's finished, right, with a dot. But as a result of that finishing, there's ongoing things that happen because of that finishedness, right? And so that's the perfective action. Something happens with ongoing results. Then we have the aoristic action. This action of the verb is undefined. This means that the action of the verb is thought of as a simple event without commenting whether or not there's a process. Okay? John hit Paul's ball to Susan. It happened. But we really are not commenting on how long the hit was, or if there's a continuation of the hit. It just happened. It's unspecified. Okay? So, when we combined time and we combined aspect, if we take past, present, and future, and we combine it with imperfective, perfective, and aoristic, we have this chart. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a simple chart here, okay? And we're going to talk about time. Okay? We're talking about time. So in our time, we've hit this before, that there's past, present, and future. Correct? So we can talk about things in the past, things in the present, things in the future. Okay? Now, here's the thing. We can talk about things in the past, present, and future in different ways that they function. That's what's challenging on this. Okay? So all I want us to think is past, present, future. Okay? So I want us just to go right back to our illustration. And I'm going to go with this idea that Paul is hitting Susan. Okay, just go back to that illustration. I'm going to leave the ball out of it for now, okay? So Paul is hitting Susan. Now, when you hear that, what does that sound like? Past tense, present, or future? Present. So when we talk about the present, okay, we talk about the present tense, we think of it as a line. We don't think of the present as what? As a dot, because If it's a dot, it's what? It's already happened. It's present, right? What are you doing? Matt is cooking. I started cooking sometime, but I'm not done. But I'm in the process of cooking. It's happening, right? That's what we call the present. So there's a present. Anytime you look in your Greek, and it says present here, that means that it's happening in a line. It's happening in the present. Okay? All right? Now, here's what's interesting. You can talk about something in the past as if you're telling the story, right? So let's just say I'm telling a story to you about something that happened, and I want to really animate it. I'm going to tell in the past, but I'm also going to give what a present tense feel to it, even though it's in the past, right? So if we tell stories sometimes, like, you should have been there, man, like, this is what was happening. And so I was like running, and you're describing it, but you know it's not what's happening right now. It happened in the past, but you communicate as if it's ongoing. So we can communicate this present ongoingness, but we can do it in the past tense. So we take this present with the line, and we put it back here. Okay? It's a present tense, but we all know it's what? In the past. And here's what's interesting. This is what we call, and these are the fancy terms for it. Now, I don't know why they have these terms, but these are the terms for it, okay? This is what we call an imperfect. Okay? This is called an imperfect, okay? So if it's a present tense in the present, it's a present. If it's a present tense in the past, it's called an imperfect, okay? So when you are looking on your eSword, and you click on it, and it says imperfect, then you go to this fancy sheet that I made for you guys, and you find the word imperfect, and you remember, oh, that's that line. That's present tense, but it's happening where? In the past. That is all I want you to know. That is as simple as it can get, okay? That makes sense? So if it's a present, it's a line happening in the present. If it's a imperfect, it's a line that's happening where? In the past. Now, I want to let you know that even to this day, these lines, this was developed by me and a couple buddies when I was taking Greek. We're going through and I'm trying to process this. So back when I was in my early 20s, over 20 years ago, I was talking this and I threw this by one of my professors and we're working on it. I needed to visualize it like this. And I've done this for over 20 years. When I see it, I see imperfect. I'm like, oh, yeah, line. Present line. And so I think with these terms, with these diagrams, this will really, really help you. Okay? That makes sense? Okay, so present is a what? Line, ongoing, in the present. An imperfect is what? A line in the past. Simple. See? Very simple. All right, let's move on. Now, if you can recall, we talked about that there was this one called a perfect, and it was like an event. Some sort of event either began or came to a completion. And this event is defined by what? A dot. And that dot, if you can recall the word tetelestai in the book of John, Gospel of John, chapter 19, verse 30-ish, Jesus says, it is finished. What's finished? Everything came to a culmination. It's finished, right? A dot. But then the finishedness of it has ongoing what? Results that continue forward. So this is what we call the dot with a line is perfect. Now, it's like the present. There's an ongoing to it. It's like the present, but we actually have a definitive beginning point or an event that happens at the beginning of it. That makes sense? So whereas Matt is cooking, if I wanted to say a perfect, I'm trying to think how I would do this in English, I would say, yeah, I started cooking at, 5:45, implying that I started, but I'm still what? Cooking, right? You see what I'm saying? Or I cooked it, and sometimes like, hurry up and get up and eat. The food's going to get cold. It's cooked, right? It's done. You finish cooking, so it's cooked. It's ready to what? Eat, right? So there's an event with that tail that happens off of it. That makes sense? Now, if you want to take this perfect, you say, okay, this is great, but I want to go tell some stories about, back in the day. And I want to take and put a perfect where? In the past tense. I can take this perfect and put it right here in the past tense. But then I'm not going to call it a perfect. I'm going to call it a what?
Pluperfect.
A pluperfect. Okay? So what I'm saying, do not let these titles worry you. Just, if you have this in your Bible, you don't have to worry. You just click on the eSword. It says pluperfect, and you're like, oh, I can't, what is that? Oh, what is that again? You go back and you look, oh, there's a pluperfect, and you know it's what? A dot with a line in the past. If it's a perfect, it's a dot with a line in the what? Present. If it's a present, it's just ongoing. Make sense? If it's in the future, okay, ongoing. Now, this would be like a lot of the Revelation talk. Jesus Christ will come back and establish his kingdom. Boom, and it has ongoing results. But is this, this future king, his second coming, that'll be in the future. So we would use what? A future what? A future perfect, yeah. Okay? That makes sense? Is this helpful, putting it together this way? Okay. All right. Now, we have one more. We have what's called the aorist. I want us to think of the aorist as an event. It's an event, and and I learned it a couple of different ways. That's an event that really doesn't have any definition. There's really there's no present tense. There's no ongoing. It's just an event that happened. You can think of it a lot of ways. It's not exactly, from my understanding, it's not exactly like a past tense, but it kind of is. It's just kind of like an event that happens, undefined. So an aorist is just going to be a what? It's just going to be a dot. I don't know if people online will be able to see this. It's just a dot. So there's no tail to it. There's no tail before or after, no line that comes off of it. It's just what? It's just an aorist. And generally speaking, the aorist, we would understand the aorist as being what? In the past tense. John hit Susan. Okay? We're not really referring that he was continuously hitting her. And he didn't hit her with an ongoing result. It happened in the past. Right? So, hit. That makes sense? I cooked up some spaghetti. Right there. I'm not cooking it. I'm not continually cooking it. It's not cooked. I cooked it in the past. Right? It happened with really no exact definition of what happened with it. Okay? Make sense? Then, if we want to move the aorist to the present, we really can't do it in the present. Why? Because if it's in the present, it's going to be what? It's going to be in the present. So you can't put an aorist into the present, because this aorist into the present, because it's just present is present. There's movement to it, right? You see what I'm saying? So this is off the charts right here. Okay? All right? I don't know on this, but I'm going to assume the reason why this is off the charts because the present is now, and you can talk about the present and the past, but the present and the future, we haven't arrived there yet. So that's my understanding. So I would understand that why we don't have that future, the future present. Okay? But over here, if we have a future present, we call that a what? Just a future. Yeah, just keep it simple. Future. Okay? All right. So let's practice this. If I say an aorist, maybe without trying to look, an aorist is what? Just give me the symbol. Aorist is what? What kind of symbol? Dot. Past, present, or future? Past. Okay. Future. Dot. Future. Okay. Present. Line. Present. Yep. Pluperfect. Dot and line where? Past. Yep. Perfect. Dot and line. Present. Imperfect. Line in the past. Okay? All right. So, when it comes to Greek verbs, just to review on this is how, and we do this in the English language, so this is not different than the English language. It's just that the Greek verbs are a little bit packed with, okay, so if we take our Greek verbs in the English language, let's just communicate it this way. It's going to be really, all the grammar students are going to be rolling their eyes when I say this. Our English language verbs, the verb doesn't really stand on its own. It usually has like a posse around it, a bunch of people hanging around. It'd be like our verbs have like it's like a dog with a bunch of little yippy dogs around it that help it out. Whereas the Greek verbs tend to be more what? A big dog. They don't need a bunch of yippy dogs around. So like Paul was being hit by Susan, right? So Paul, and we have was being hit. So we have was, be, by. We have to have three more words to help communicate that. Greek, generally speaking, will just have one Greek word, and you have these fancy little endings you put on the end and a couple letters in front of it. And then the whole Greek word, the Greek verb carries all the weight, and it doesn't need to have a big group of yippy dogs around to kind of help carry that. That makes sense? We do the same thing in English, but the Greek verb packs a little bit more punch. Okay? So the Greek verb is going to communicate. The Greek verb, when you look at the Greek verb, you're going to find out the mood of the sentence, which is whether it's imperative or indicative or subjunctive. Whether it's the verb is demanding something, indicating something, or giving the mood of possibility. You're going to find out the voice, which way the action is going. Is it going from the subject to the direct object or the other way around? Which way the arrow, the sentence pointing, right? So the sentence, is it going the action going this way, or is it going this way, or is it going around? And then you're going to find out from that verb, is it ongoing in the present? Is it ongoing in the past? Does something happen with ongoing results in the past? Something that happened with ongoing results in the future? Or are we just saying that something happened in the past or something might happen in the future? See how all that works? So now, looking at this right now, there's a tremendous amount, what we've covered here just tonight, a tremendous amount of material that we just covered. But what I'm trying to stress to you, and I've hopefully stressed to you, is with a couple of these helps, like just this sheet itself, and the beauty of new electronic software, you can actually go and find that verb, click on it, and it'll give you a code, and you pull these helpful charts that I've given out, and you can go through and you can read it and say, that's what that means.